Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I'm your host Shae the Red, and I am here with the insanely talented Luke Stone. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you doing today?
You know what? Actually, better. It's been a rough week for whatever reason for health things. And after sleeping for, 10 hours last night and then pretty much all of today, I finally don't feel like I'm going to die, which is hilarious because I'm playing Bone.
Yeah, that's good. You don't want to feel like you're going to die by any means.
No, that's not something I shoot for. I shoot for a living, but it doesn't always work that way.
Well, you know what? That actually works out really well because Bone is the kind of guy who lives for living. You know, like when my daughter says he's like, oh, he's the type that's here for a good time, not a long time. So
I like it.
Yeah, so that's what that is.
So that's that must be why I was drawn to him when I was looking through who I was going to cosplay today. I went, you know what? He looks like he's having a good time. I need to channel some of that.
Yeah, he really is, and he's kind of BA too. He like no holds barred, kicks butt. Yeah,
I like him. I do. So we're here. If you guys don't know, which if you don't, I don't know where you're living because Luke has been on it for the promotion game. Like you have been everywhere talking about this. We are here for Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, right?
Yes. You're telling me I am, so that's where I'm at. So yeah, absolutely, I'm here for that.
The reason I said the title, just so you'd know.
Yeah. So you know this, but not a lot of other people do. I kind of get on a cycle of where I'm not just promoting this book, but I'm promoting either my company, Terraform Comics, or I'm promoting another book that I'm on called Voodoo Nations. And so, but lately it has been all hybrids. It's all go. It's been pedal to the metal kind of promotion. So yeah, it's been crazy.
I mean, you've been doing great though. Normally one of the first things that I end up saying to people when they come on here is, how come I haven't heard of your book? Until I reached out, and I don't have that problem with you. I was like, no, I know your book. I've seen it's been all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. But my main goal is not to just have it all over the place where people see it, but I want to get it in everybody's hands too. Like that's kind of my big thing. I really care about this project. I really care about the characters. I've been investing a lot of time into it. And that's what I just don't understand. Some of these people, they will have a book they've put a lot of time and effort into, and you don't get to, where are they? They lose it somewhere in the middle of the promotional game. So I try not to do that.
The way that I kind of look at it is it's hard to be a jack of all trades. And so I feel like when you have people that are really creative and people that are really into writing and art and all that kind of stuff, they can be really, really good at that. But a lot of promotion, marketing, and merchandising has to do a lot with analysis and you got to spreadsheets and schedules and keeping shit straight. And like that usually notoriously is where artists suck. Artists usually suck at keeping track of everything because you just want to sit and do your art. And, you want to hit a deadline because somebody told you had to, not because you wanted to.
Yeah, it's really weird because, I am a creative person, right? Draw, do music, things like that. But it was actually my time away from art when I spent in music where I was really trying to like self-promote my band that I learned a lot of that. And then all of those skills translated when I went into like business management and stuff like that. And so now I've got all those skills now and I'm like, how can I be unstoppable?
Exactly. You put in the time and the effort, and so now you know what you need to do in order to, succeed, and that's
absolutely
awesome.
Yeah. So hail everyone in the chat. I see a lot of names in there that look familiar to me.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got good chat. Thank you to Fade, Chris, Froggy G, Wolverine, Tatsunami. What's up, hon? Haven't seen you in a bit. Rick Saylor, he was here earlier. Thank you guys for coming in. You guys are always amazing and always welcome. So Luke, let's go straight into what your pitch is for anyone who has been living under a rock and doesn't know.
Yeah. At this point, I'm surprised if anyone doesn't know. So I'm really looking forward to the next book that I do beyond this, because then I'm not going to pitch this anymore. I'm going to write a whole new pitch. So
nice.
Let me start with this. Obviously, we all like heroes, right, with powers. But what if I told you, Shae, that you could potentially have the ability to have superpowers?
That would be badass.
That would be, yeah, wouldn't it be?
I would be down for that.
Yeah, so there is actually a piece of history that could potentially give you the genetic ability to have godlike abilities. And let me tell you about it. So back in Genesis chapter 6 of the Bible, have you ever heard of that book? They sold a few copies.
Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah, a couple copies.
Yeah.
So in Genesis chapter 6 of that book, it talks about these sons of God or angels coming down and seeing the daughters of men, liking what they see, and start having babies with them. Those creatures we call the Nephilim.
Yes,
now, it isn't just the Bible that talks about these guys, though. Most of the major religions, several major religions across the globe, they all have these different lore or different instances where it talks about something very similar to what happened in Genesis chapter 6. Now, these things took place probably 1,500 years in the timeline of where it says it took place. Maybe 1,500 years prior to the first writings of the Greek gods. I've always was into Greek mythology and things like that growing up. Always thought it was interesting. So when I found out that the Greek gods and all that Greek mythology could actually just be exaggerations of real life Nephilim, boy, was I intrigued. Mm-hmm. So here was the idea that they just wrote stories about people that really existed with some slight changes and embellishments, kind of what we do these days. Right. And so my thought was, what if all of these people that were having babies, these Nephilim, what if they continued to have kids down through the generations, that DNA just got watered down and just became kind of this recessive trait? And what if right here in this room, you or I both could have some of this recessive Nephilim DNA in us, or people in the chat could have some of this recessive DNA in them, that if something would happen to wake it up, they could have the powers of the Greek gods, or even more fantastic than that, the power to lift buildings, to teleport, and not just some recessive trait that gives you blue eyes or red hair, but like real powers. So that's what actually happens in hybrids, the sons of God. So seemingly overnight, people start to develop these godlike abilities, but no sooner do the people develop these powers, the individuals start to vanish. Someone's coming around and they're taking them. And so what happens is we follow a small group of heroes that's really kind of ill-equipped, but they do their best to try to find out who's taking these people, where are they taking these people, and why they're taking these people. And so those three questions get answered in Hybrids, the Sons of God's Trash Day, which was originally a 5-issue miniseries, but we've now compiled all that into a trade paperback. Plus we've added in a side story called Saraphina, which gives a little more insight to one of the characters that's rescued at the end of the story. And it's also kind of a commentary on mental health and what it's like dealing with traumas from the inside. And then we also have this really cool end credit scene that you're not going to see anywhere else, but it's like a Marvel's end credit that we're doing with like comic style. So it's 4 pages that's crammed into the back of this book that kind of launches us into the next arc a little bit. So it gives you kind of a preview of what's about to happen. And then I've also put a whole bunch of commentary and creator notes inside of the book as well. So originally the book was 100 and if you counted all the pages, 104 pages, but this book is going to be 128 pages. So there's a whole lot of extra content in there. And I know it's probably not going to happen tonight, but hopefully over the course of this campaign, not only will we get funded, but I hope to reach a stretch goal of 8,000. And if I can hit the 8,000 mark, what will happen is we will add 12 more pages and make it 140 pages. So it's I'm pretty excited about it. It's kind of a big deal for me. So that is our goals right now. Yeah.
Can't understand. Your goals are down here. Okay. You have all kinds of crazy goals that I wanted to get into. A lot of them have to deal with backer numbers, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I am more concerned with backer numbers than I am with dollar amounts.
Oh my gosh, go figure. It's like somebody cares about people getting the book and enjoying it more than making a buck.
If anybody ever asks, Luke is the guy who cares about people.
Oh, I like it. That makes 2 Lukes I know that care about people. I don't know if you saw this, but when Death Metal Hero came in, he said, "Another Luke, what a rarity for me. What up, Stone?"
Yeah, what's up?
So I will say, and everyone in the chat, there's not a single person in this chat that's going to be surprised by this. I'm a little sad that one stretch goal that I would love to see on here isn't on here.
Okay, what is that?
I really, really love what you've done with your logo. Your logo is probably one of the coolest logos that I've seen out there.
Oh, thank you.
And I really want it as a patch.
You know what? We can make it happen. I'll squeeze one in there.
Okay. So, and I also know a patch place if you're looking for a place that'll do them for.
I can do that. You know, that we'll have it the special Shae the Red stretch goal and make it a patch. So.
Yay! I love it. See, like this is instantly Chris was like she's gonna say patches. Frog G says hand turkey. No, y'all aren't ever gonna let these hand turkeys die. I'm gonna have to do. I owe so many hand turkeys now.
Are you talking about the hand turkey like when you were a kid when you drew made the hands?
Yeah, but I do them with people's characters. Like I make them really elaborate things that are recognizable as someone's character, but definitely a hand turkey that I absolutely put my hand down on my tablet and traced before I did it.
Have you seen these the Paperworks thing or Papercraft? Where you take like a sheet of paper and you can you cut it out and fold it where it says to fold and it makes a little character.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
like
I'm
the
actually
blockheads.
Yeah, blockheads. Basically, I'm doing some of those that are going to be kind of just special things I'm throwing into the packages for everybody. It's not a perk. It's just something extra that's going to be going into the packages for people.
Just for funsies.
So, just for funsies, yeah.
Comic Book Scrapyard, thank you for backing this campaign. That is super awesome.
Yes, thank you very much.
Wolverine says, look, if you don't have patches, you don't know your bread is shea buttered on. I love you guys. You guys are assholes. It's amazing. Okay, so at 8K, we're going to get 12 more pages of content from guest creators, which is really super fucking exciting. That is really
it really is. Man, I've got some really cool creators working on this stuff too. So I've got a guy named Raj Mahan who just wrote a book called Mojo Rising, and that is doing great on Kickstarter right now. But he's working with Jim O'Reilly to do a 2-page backup story. And so I can't wait to see that. It's pretty exciting. I've got a guy named Todd Altmans who is going to be doing, he's actually doing one with another guy named Nicholas Mueller, doing a backup story, but then he's also doing one with me. So he's kind of written this other backup story based off a concept my daughter had. And it actually features Bone, and Bone is going to be trying on some new super suits.
Yes!
And so, so it's going to be a fun 2 pages of kind of fun. You get to see the real personality of his real name's Caleb, but no one ever calls him Caleb. It's Bone. So I really get to know who
no
Bone
one
is.
ever calls me Shalice because they all say it's a black girl name. So I just go by Shae. It's easier.
There you go. Right there. You go.
Right. See, I resonate a lot with Bone right here.
You really do. You really do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, but yeah, so it's gonna be a good time with all of those creators. Meredith Logren, who is a part of Terraform Comics, she's kind of our internet and schedule. Basically, she's the wheels behind the facade. Really, you know, she's the one that makes it all happen. And so she is writing her first. It'll be her first comic book credit. She wrote an amazing 2 pages. Now, I don't know if you guys like horror or not. The fun thing.
Oh, you don't know me at all. I'm working on a horror anthology.
Oh, there you go. All right. So I've started to kind of put my hand towards some horror stuff, but I'm not real great at writing horror. But I'm telling you, the thing about the Hybrids universe is it lends to all of those different genres. You can pretty much do whatever you want there. There's so much freedom. And so she's written this 2-page kind of nightmare sequence that is, I mean, it's chilling. It is so chilling. And so I can't wait for that to get into people's hands. And so I really want to get to that 8K so everyone can get those extra stories. So I'm going to do whatever it takes.
That has to happen. 8K has to happen, especially
because a
2-page horror story. That's really difficult to pull off. It's very hard to get enough like setting and mood and like the intensity and the drama all in there enough that you actually get that chilling feeling. Like it's hard to do in 24 pages. So 2 pages, I got to see what this chick wrote. I'm very intrigued.
And the thing is, she does it so well because she uses all of that setting that we've just done in the 104 pages of the story.
Nice.
So all of that leading up to this end bit, and she takes this end scene and she really just, because now the reader's already seen it, they've already had the shock, they've already had where they're emailing me or going on social media and saying, what the hell, Luke, what did you do? You know, so literally when people have read the book, I've gotten that that statement. They're like, why did you do that? And I'm like, well, it needed to be done.
Just because there's more reading to do. Come on now.
Yeah, it's like it really needed to be done. So I'm not afraid to make the hard choices in stories, but yeah, so I've had people. So she takes that kind of this really like gut wrenching moment, and she just builds upon it with these 2 pages, and it is fan-flippin-tastic, man. I'm telling you.
I'm excited. Oh, I want to see that. Okay. And then at 10K, every backer is going to get a quick play RPG. What?
Yeah. Say what? Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Luke,
you tell me what that is.
Luke decided the hybrid universe needed to be something you don't just read, but you can wear and that you can live for a short time with your friends. And so one of the things that I've always wanted to do was develop this game into a role-playing game. And so I've worked with this guy named Nicholas Tockard, and he has developed the bones, the engine, if you will, behind a beautiful role-playing game with its own mechanics and everything. And so one of the things that we're doing, we're still working on laying out the rest of the player's guide, the GM guide, and all that stuff. But he wrote a quick play in order to test out the mechanics of the world, and it is great. Like anyone that likes the game, you can sit down right away, play this game, and it's amazing. And so what we're doing is we're packaging that quick play into a floppy type book. Okay, and the idea is we're going to try to keep that cost as low as we can per issue, because it has pre-made characters and stuff that you can choose in there. Now, when we do the real game. Not the real game, the full game, you're going to be able to build your own character from scratch. Like I do, like there's rules and mechanics when I create a new hybrid in the hybrids universe, but you're going to be able to get that and to be able to do that yourself with that manual. But with this quick play, you get 4 or 5 characters to choose from. And then you run through this adventure, which is absolutely, just brilliant, the work that he's done. And so we're going to package that all together, get it all printed up. And every person that does a physical tier will actually get that quick play in hand. Plus, we're going to open it up as another perk so that you can add additional copies on at a low cost too. So we're not going to try to like really go crazy with it with people so that they can afford it. Because the idea is, Shae, is that if you and I and 2 other people were sitting in a room together, we'd each have one of these, so we would have our character sheets and our maps and stuff in front of us. So I'm trying to keep these things at like $2 or $3.
So, Luke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
Please.
So we're going to make 10K happen because I want to do what I'm about to say. When we make 10K happen,
sure.
I think that Yumi, Death Metal Hero, Chaotic Neutral need to play that live. I
say 100%. And you know what? I'll even get the game designer to come in and GM for us.
Yes! Ah! Okay.
Yes.
That's
100%. That'll happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We will do it
100%.
on this channel. It will be amazing.
It will be awesome. I'm telling you, it's
cool.
Such a freaking cool game. It's such a cool. He's done such a great job of taking the hybrid universe and making it playable. It's like he took my world that like I play in this world all the time in my head.
Right.
And he ingested all the material I had, and he created a sandbox for everybody else to play in. I mean, it's nuts. It is so nuts.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% down for that. So the funny thing is, and this is something, because let's be real, guys. Luke and I don't know each other that well, right? We're still getting to know one another. Luke doesn't know about chaotic character crux that we do with Death Metal Hero Luke.
Oh, there we go.
Who I just brought in to character crux, and we did that really badassness. Fade is totally down. Frog is down. But yeah, it's Wolverine. Okay, look, we'll see how many people we can get, but I'm sure that there is a limit to how many characters are pre-created, so you're just gonna have to. You know what?
If you name the number of people, and if we have to, like, I will have Nick write a new character. Okay,
it's happening. 10K. Get you fucking 10K.
Nick, I'm telling you, Nick is so passionate about this project. The only other person I've ever met that loves hybrids more than me is Nick. When I met him, because I was interviewing a couple of different game designers because I really wanted this to happen.
Right.
And he was like, "Hey," he was so passionate about it. I'm like, I think you love this thing more than I do, almost.
That's awesome.
And I was like, you're on board. You've got to do it. So yeah, Nick is a fantastic guy. Does great work.
Dude, so I already know because Sai was pissed off that I did character crux when they were gone. And so Sai was like, you know that I'm going to have to get in on some RPG-ness at some point. And I was like, absolutely. Death Metal Hero loves him some RPG. Chaotic Neutral was our DM for Character Crux for the first three show arc.
Yeah.
So I know he'd be down. Wolverine obviously is down because he just called me out on my own stream about how I didn't say him. But that would be really badass to just have a big event to celebrate you hitting 10K of all of us sitting down and actually playing that RPG quick play. That would be so much fucking fun.
Yeah. And we can even do it before the thing prints, because we've got all of like the Word files and stuff like that Nick made. So it's like we could just jump right into it.
Yeah. Wonderful way to help promote you while Shae gets to be a nerdy, geeky, dumb bitch. That'll be amazing.
Well, see, here's the thing. I that's my whole world, nerdy, geeky stuff. I love that. And so I wanted people to be able to experience hybrids well beyond just the comics. I wanted them to be able to sport their favorite swag with hybrids on it. I want them to be able to play it and immerse themselves into that world. And then beyond that, I'm actually looking for like emerging animators who are trying to really get their feet on the ground and make a way for something, to help me out with building some shorts and animating some shorts for hybrids, this universe, and kind of partnering with them so that they can make some money and we can make some money. And
I might actually know a couple of people for that too to help you out.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be great.
See, look, here's the thing. When Shae networks like a mofo, because when I eventually launch my own campaign, I'm already lining up the people that I want to work with, and I'm like, what's your price point? So I know if I can even afford you.
Yeah.
But I'm lining all these people up because I know who does good stuff in the industry and who I've seen that has really put forth a lot of effort. And I know what I like and what I want as a backer, and I want to offer that same kind of stuff. So I network like crazy to try and find the best possible prices. And as a result, I know a lot of people who do a lot of shit. So
I think I'm going to have to add in a new stretch goal. I think, what do you think, Shae? You think 6K for the patch?
Wait, are you, hold on. I have to scroll up and see what your goal is.
5.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's happening. Are you kidding me? We're getting to 10K. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So it's just that's just a stop along the way. That's
whatever. We're getting to 10K because we're doing this.
Yeah. Like, so the 6K, that'll just be stopping for some combos and a Coke, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm not even gonna worry about it.
So I'll squeeze that in there. So I'll make my first little stretch goal. I'll make my first little stretch goal the patch, the hybrids patch.
Yes. Oh, and so normally I would show you why I am so into these patches, but I actually dropped them off yesterday to be embroidered. I've got jackets that, since Sai has been gone and out of the country, Sai doesn't know about. But I got jackets that are kind of lightweight bomber type style jackets.
Oh, neat.
And I'm getting our names embroidered on the back, and I got gigantic 15-inch patches of our logo that are sewn onto the back. And then I'm taking all of these, like I got my Merry Boys patches right here. I'm taking all of my patches that I've gotten from all of these different campaigns, and it's going to be like a writer's vest.
That'd be awesome.
Or a, military jacket kind of thing. And so I'm doing it with all of these indie and CG projects, and hybrids with that badass logo would be so cool on there. It would be so awesome.
I'm glad you like that logo. I remember when I made the logo.
It's very well done. It's very well done. It's sleek.
Yes, I like stuff like that, like the Apple Store stuff. I like I don't like to get too goofy with stuff, but I always thought it was a fun logo.
Wolverine says Shae doesn't ask what stretch goal you're going to make. Shae tells you what you're going to make. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about what I like, guys. Yeah. This is no shock. I say this every show when someone doesn't already have patches.
But here's what's funny. I actually listen to what people want. And so anyone watching, tell me what you want and we'll put it on there. I've had people say, hey, I wish that you had a stretch. I wish that you had a perk where I could just get the first issue of the comic. since, you know, I'm new to the thing and I don't know if I'm going to want it. So guess what I did? I put a first issue of the comic up there. So, but not only that, if people go and they don't know about the story and they just want to look at the first issue, I actually send them a PDF of the first issue right away, so that they can determine whether or not they're going to want to just go with the first issue or if they're going to want to go ahead and go with the full book. Which
that is awesome. That is really cool. And I love when you have creators who are so confident in what they do that they put their money where their mouth is. Like we've got Justin Dutton. He's offering retail packs for all of his stuff, and he legit said, "Look, if retailers buy it and they can't move it, I'll buy back what they can't move." And it's like, dude, that's a buyback guarantee. That's crazy, especially for an indie creator.
Yeah, I have the same thing. If they can't move it, I buy it back. I mean, and here's the thing: the really cool thing about that first issue is that was drawn like 4.5 years ago. So I've progressed so much more in my art and my writing since then, and I still believe in it enough to catch someone with the story to really get them with it. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Yes, Past Master Jen, I did get a haircut. I only cut off about 18 inches. No big deal. And Wolverine says, I've got three books written up between pages 1 to page 5, and I've already put thought into what the patches would be. This is what happens when people are on my show or in my chat frequently, and they go, look, when I eventually talk to Shae, and she goes, where are your patches? I can be like, right here, bitch. Just show them and not have to like listen to the spiel of why you should have a patch. And yeah, you know what? I really like seeing creators that aren't afraid to take that risk and that jump. Just like you're saying, you got the buyback guarantee. So does Justin. That is awesome to see. He's also got a nightmare bear with only one bear left out of the 10. So if you want a nightmare bear that glows in the dark with his eyes and creepiness, you need to get in on that.
I saw that. That was pretty cool that he did that.
Yeah, I definitely was the first one to back the bear tier. And I was like, I don't know what, like, I have a fear of the dark. So I don't know why I'm backing this creepy ass bear with a bunch of unstitched bears on his back that's going to sit in the corner of my room, glow at me, and then I'm never going to sleep. Did you just turn a light on? Because
I did, because it's getting dark. You know, I mean, before too long, I'm just going to be you're just going to see the glow of the screen on my face, and I'll be a disembodied head. You know, you don't want to freak people out, right?
I mean, I'm fine freaking other people out as long as you don't like show up in my office all of a sudden as a disembodied head. We're cool.
Yeah, that would be messed up.
So, see, like I said, I like horror, so that's where my mind goes. I've got a lot of really ridiculously traumatic shit that I'm typing up to put into a book to hopefully scar other people for life, because it's been scarring me forever. So why not, right?
Yep,
it'd be fun. So your backer goals, I like your backer goals because you keep on doing stickers, and your stickers are adorable.
I like stickers, but one thing that I've learned from doing indie comics for the last 6 years is that people love stickers, love them.
Oh yeah.
And so I want to like produce as many of those as I can for people. So right now what it is, we've got the sticker pack, which has a die cut trash man, it has a hollow foil trash man, and it has a chibi trash man. And I thought, man, it would be so cool to have a full chibi set.
Yeah.
I just got the line art back from Kanan White for the exclusive Kanan White cover. Which is
fire and a half.
It is so awesome, right?
Oh my god.
And so on that cover, we've got 4 characters. We've got Bone, we've got Trashman, we've got Chlorine, and we've got Ion. And so I thought what we need to do is make chibi stickers for all of them. I've already got the Trashman. And with each backer goal, I'm going to add in if you have the sticker pack in your perk, or if you do that as an add-on, then it's automatically going to go in there. So you're not going to have to worry about it or not, but it's not. So this is not going to be something that everybody gets unless you have the sticker pack. So we're going to add, that's Chlorine will be the first one we add to the sticker pack.
She's so freaking cute. Look at her.
Isn't she looking?
With the giant eyes. Like she almost looks part alien with the way that her eyes are just so big. She's so cute.
So my friend Joe Spicer did the chibi art, and he's so good at it. And so what's Bone
really funny is he's 6 a.m., right? Mark 6 a.m. comics.
Yeah.
Very similar styles.
Very,
it's there was a little bit of a difference. So I was like, I don't think this is 6, but this is close.
Yeah. And so you may not know this, but Chlorine and Bone are brother and sister. Chlorine's his big sister. Okay.
Love it.
So they are related. And so that's that. So we did that. And then our last sticker is Ion. And so Ion she is BA. She's one of my favorite characters.
I am in love with these stickers. These are adorable.
Yeah.
Like I would put these all over a laptop just so they will like be places. People will be like, oh, what's that from? You're like, oh, it's from this really cool kind of elite, comic you should have gotten in on.
Yeah. So everybody already gets the trash man in the series. And so in that particular perk, but as soon as we hit those backer goals, when we get to 75, I believe it's a 75, 150, and 250 is when we break those in. Nice. And then the other backer goals is at 100. I've got a whole bunch of indie creators that's giving me digital PDFs of their books, and so you'll get a whole bunch of like digitals that you can read. So all these creators that I love their stuff and I love all their work. So you're going to be able to get a whole bunch of extra books with it too as soon as we hit 100 backers. At the 200 backer mark, we're going to add new posters into the poster packs, and so I do have one poster pack up now, but next week, I'm getting ready to add a second poster pack of homage posters. So I'm doing a bunch of homage covers with Hybrids characters. And so that little poster set will be added in. It will go automatically into the ultimate set, the ultimate collector's pack. And then you'll be able to do it as an add-on here in like a week or two. So I do this weird thing because I've ran so many Kickstarters and things. And so every week I'll just add something new. So I have something else to promote.
Right. Which is a brilliant way to do it, because the thing is, if you're trying to keep people excited, it's something that Camel Moon is doing with Hail Salad, and he's doing it wonderfully because I've backed him. I know I've backed him once. I want to say I might have already backed him twice, and I think I have. I backed him twice because he had the Narwhal cover and I really wanted the Narwhal cover. And I don't believe in refunding unless I'm like really. I've refunded under two conditions. One, if I've lost all faith in the creator, which has been very rare. And two, if Indiegogo messes up and double charges me stuff, then I end up refunding. But if I can afford to not refund to get the better tier, then that's usually what I'll try to do, because I don't want to mess up everything for the creators. It's a pain in the ass. And also, I mean, it's extra stuff. So I've backed him twice, and I'm about to back him a third time because I want the SS Titty sticker and the standee. And like when I had him on, I cosplayed as Dan. So and freaked everyone out for a long time. Like Wolverine, I think might still have PTSD from it. But yeah, it's I think it's a brilliant way to do it when you're trying to really create a lot of hype and a lot of excitement around your project, is to constantly show that you have new things that people can get and have new add-ons. The only thing I will say is it can get frustrating if you have a limited budget and you see something that you would have liked more earlier on.
Yeah. Well,
that's one thing that can be frustrating.
Yeah. The cool thing is, unless I get like happen to find another variant cover from another well-known artist, there probably won't be another cover added, but I am adding in as we're doing new cover sets for the original 5 issues, and so we'll stick those in there as add-ons, or you could get them by themselves and things like that. And so I try to make it to where you can quickly add another one, or you can add add-ons and things like that. You can simply everything that you see that's available is also an add-on. So you could get the cheapest level to get the book, which is $25. And plus $10 shipping to the US. It's a little more expensive to international, but for international folks, I'm sticking extra stuff in there for them, so that it doesn't increase the weight. Yeah, it doesn't increase the weight to where it goes into a new shipping cost, but it does increase the value of that package tremendously for them. So we're doing that, and then but then you can get that base level and then add on all the other stuff that you want. So you can basically build your own perk.
Yeah, which I love. I think that's really great when you give people the option, because there's so many times where I end up backing a perk and I get, 4 prints, but of the 4 prints, like maybe I liked one of the prints, and so it was like, okay, I guess it's all right. But then I ended up getting a bunch of trading cards, and I'm like, man, what the hell am I going to do with all these trading cards? And they give me stickers, and I'm just like, I have all of this stuff, and so much of it ends up sitting just like when it's shipped, where it sits in the back of the, the boarded comic, and I'm just like, well, it'll just stay there until I can figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, and that's also part of the reason why I didn't want to go with normal stretch goals where everybody gets it, because not everybody wants that stuff. So the stretch goals are, hey, the stickers will be added into the sticker pack. So if you've ordered a sticker pack, you get those extra stickers. Not everyone's going to get it. If you ordered the poster pack, you're going to get the extra posters, because not everybody wanted posters. So I we're kind of doing it that way so people can get what they want, and I don't really want to waste stuff.
Yeah, which is totally fair, and I can completely understand that.
Yeah.
So speaking of all of your tiers and perks, let's go ahead and go through them, because you actually have a pretty extensive amount.
I do, and to be fair, it's really only 3 covers with 3 different tier levels to start with. It's really kind of the basis what it is. So you've got the standard cover, the holofoil cover, and the Kanan White cover. Which on all of the, I didn't realize, because this is not like Kickstarter. You can't change the image for a perk after it's already been. Now, you could in Kickstarter, you can change the image. You can't change anything else, but you can update the image. But I can't update the images once someone's actually grabbed that perk. So it's
so what you can do, and it really just depends on if you are going to be pissy about how many have been claimed. Like, some people like having the number that shows right there.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can actually hide the perk
and then start a new one.
Create it. Yeah. And do the updates that way. That's what I tell people to do when they have typos and things like that, is if you really want it to
be right. Yeah.
Yeah. To look professional and to represent yourself the way that you want. That's the best way to do it, is to hide the tier and then remake it. For something like what you've got, I would just bump that Kanan White cover up to the top.
Yeah, as soon as we get the colors back this week and I get the trade dress and everything done with it, it's going to get pushed all the way at the top. So right now it's kind of just like the reveal for this week. So my tiers, I've got 3 basic tiers, which is just the standard. You get the book and a bookmark, and then you can add anything else to it that you want. Obviously, some people might want stickers, some people might want whatever, or they might not want any of that stuff at all. Say no frills, just give me the book. The next level is the collector's pack, and so that comes with the classic posters, which will have new posters added to it, a set of trading cards, and a bracelet, a little like one of the silicone bracelets, and I think I said the sticker pack. Yeah, and the sticker pack, and so that's your collectors, and you get that with all. You can get that with all 3 covers. So cover A, cover B, cover C. Then it goes into the ultimate collectors, which basically has all of that and a t-shirt. And then it's going to get another sticker pack. I mean, not another sticker pack, but another collector's pack added into it of the posters. And so that will have, and so periodically things will get added to that. So, if, we unlock we just said it, the word patch, man, words are hard today. Gosh,
you know what? Words are hard today. I feel you.
Words. And so, we'll put those in different packs like that. And then I've got, I do have some lower entry level stuff. I just put in the issue 1 where you can get that. I've also put in where you can get the floppies, the first set of floppies. Now I'll add another set. I'm going to add 2 other sets of floppies before the end of this. So I've got the artist that did cover B just did 5 covers that make a panoramic picture. And so the colorist is working on those now. And as soon as I get trade dress on those, I'm going to put up that whole set, and we'll be ordering where you can get that panoramic image of the hybrids covers, and you can get all 5 issues for that. So it'd be a great collector's thing. And so we're going to offer that. And then at some point, if things are going well with the campaign, I'm actually going to unlock those homage posters that I'm doing. We're going to do those on actual covers and make those on the books, and actually do a book production with the homage covers on them too. So
that'll be very cool.
So that'll be cool. So we'll add those in, and then I've got some original art stuff. So I normally work digital. So this is really cool, Shae. I normally work digital. And I've been keeping this a secret for a while. So I've done a really good job of not blowing the secret, which is hard for me.
Fair.
But I do mostly digital. But on a couple of pages, I've set aside that I just printed off the blue lines, and then I hand pencil the pages. And so you're actually getting an actually hand penciled page, which is super rare for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I normally do sell my digitals as one of ones. I print them off, sign one of one, and initial it, and those work fine. I sell that all the time. But for this campaign, I wanted to have hand penciled pages. And so I have a couple of those that are going out. And so you actually get the book. And with that one, you get the choice of cover. So like when you do that, I'll ask you what cover you want, and you get the art. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot about the super box.
Yeah, I was gonna say, your biggest one. Come on now.
The super box. So basically, it just gets everything. So if I add a set, the kitchen sink. So if I add a set of floppies, you automatically get those floppies in there.
I'm gonna laugh if somebody's like, "Where is my kitchen sink? I actually needed a new one."
I might just draw a picture of a kitchen sink and stick it in.
I like it. Be like, put this up, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but if you don't want to mess with all that stuff, you're like, I kind of want it. The only thing that doesn't come in that is the original art. Like you have to get the original art separate. If somebody is interested in that original art, I can add that into the price. We can work that out, and like we can, up the whatever for that original art. But so that's kind of what we're doing there. But
yeah, dude, that's you got a lot. You have a lot that you can get with this, which is really badass. And so you've been going for what? Is this your first 30 days?
Yeah, we're still in the first 30 days. Actually, Tuesday was the end of my first week. So I went from Tuesday night at 5 p.m. A week ago until so it's been You're just over a week.
40% funded in just over a week.
I was really kind of hoping for 50% though.
I know. I can see that. And of course, I would hope for 50% as well, just because it's really badass. But considering I don't know how many people know you.
They don't
as a creator. 40% in a week is insanity.
Yeah,
that's really well.
Yeah. Well, so I'm so new to CG too. Like that's the thing. Yeah. Like I am. And I've never really done a big campaign like this on Indiegogo. If I was on Kickstarter, I would already have like probably 100 backers, but I certainly wouldn't have $2,000 because that's not how that works over there. You've got to, they don't dip in this big. And so I was like, well, I need more time. I need as much time as I can get. I like the ability to go in demand. And so I strategically was going to do this anyway. And so the plan was to take this there and then maybe run cleanup over on Kickstarter. But, things as they were, I've always been Comicsgate adjacent. And I've worked with a lot of Comicsgate people, and a lot of my fans are already Comicsgate people. So I found out a lot of these people have already gotten my books. They've already seen, me fulfill, I've fulfilled more than 12 campaigns myself. And so collectively with Terraform Comics, this is kind of a Terraform Comics project, we have, and I did an early backer launch too. Yeah. So collectively we've done more than 25 campaigns that we've fulfilled, that we've funded and fulfilled. And so I'm having trouble getting my Kickstarter audience to follow me, but I've been trying to build a brand new one with Comicsgate folks. And so I came out, things as they were. I was kind of always Comicsgate adjacent. I just decided to, I wanted people to, how do I explain it? It wasn't that I was like, when people start drawing the lines, like Anthony Figueroa, he and I were talking a bunch about this. When people start drawing those lines, my feet never moved.
Right.
My feet have always where they've been. And I just realized that I've been standing
past you.
Yeah. I've been standing in Comicsgate for a long time. And so and so I decided I wanted to be like, hey, I wanted people to realize that who I am is what Comicsgate really is.
Right.
No matter what you might hear from people, what they might say on the left, or even what, some of the more vocal, less tactful people might say that associate with this group of this community of comic book fans and creators. I wanted them to show that, look, this is like who I am is Comicsgate. Like what you've always known me to be, that is what aligns, like Comicsgate. I'm not aligning with Comicsgate. Comicsgate just aligns with who I am. And so it makes sense. Yeah. I'm just taking off the I'm taking off the jacket and showing the Comicsgate shirt. So I wanted to do that so people can see what that is. And the other thing I wanted to do was give creators who are on the fence about taking the hashtag a little encouragement that what you stand to gain from this community and this network is greater than what you will lose by taking on the hashtag.
Right. Which is something that I think is really amazing that a lot of people have been doing, because and everybody knows this, whenever we're talking about Red Valkyrie doesn't care if you have a Kickstarter, an Indiegogo, or what have you.
Yeah.
I care that you have a good product with good art, that you're giving, good customer service to your fan base, and that you're generally not a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much all I care about.
Just don't be a jerk.
Right. And I get, for some people, and in all honesty, for certain kinds of books, unfortunately, sometimes Kickstarter does better than Indiegogo. Personally, I will never do anything on Kickstarter. I hate backing anything on Kickstarter because it's confusing as fuck. I don't like the fact that it takes forever for my money to actually leave my bank account. So I managed to forget that I backed something. And then all of a sudden I get a nice little surprise whenever the campaign finally ends. And I'm like, oh shit, now I get to eat ramen for a week because I forgot about that thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really don't like, because on several campaigns that I've ran, there's a lot of dropped pledges because of that reason, and so I like just everything about Indiegogo. I like better, and so I really wanted to try to build some momentum over there on that platform. And it just so happened it coincided with this moment when I was like, it's time for me to make that statement. And so I actually hesitated talking about this project because I didn't want people to think I was coming Comicsgate to make money. I was coming Comicsgate because that's what I was. But
which is the right way to do it, because the way that people they'll hear what they want to hear. So if they hear you say, I'm launching this book, by the way, I'm CG, you're going to have people that are going to try and spin that narrative, regardless of whether it's true or not, because in the past, it has been true for some people. And as much as it shouldn't be the sins of many, or the sins of a few go apply to many, that's kind of what ends up happening, because people have been burned a lot. So you have a lot of people that are worried about it. But then, just like what you got here, we got Fade who says, here, Shae. We got Green Laser says, I agree. Tony says, I'm the same way, Luke. I didn't change my values. I saw that my values were already aligned with CG, and I hate the hostility and witch hunts from the left. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can agree.
Chris talking about hating the political garbage being brought into fantasy, like that, all of those things, that is how everybody here feels. And like, I understand even Green Laser's point here, supporting on Kickstarter. The only reason that I have occasionally supported something on Kickstarter is because I'm not going to fault a person who maybe has a genre. When you're talking like children's books and you're talking manga, generally speaking, those tend to do better on Kickstarter because there is already a giant audience for that there. And most of them don't know about Indiegogo as an alternative method. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them have a lot of real bad false narratives about CG. And really so it's a matter of education. But the thing is I've had people who had Kickstarter campaigns that did okay. And I convinced them to launch an Indiegogo because I was like, your book is amazing. And I know that there's an audience for it, but they will not go to Kickstarter. They're never going to. And so they'll launch on Indiegogo and they'll double or triple their numbers from Kickstarter simply because people want to show them this is an okay platform for you to come to.
Yeah.
I've only had one of them who said for one of their books, they will be going back to Kickstarter because it does better over there than it does on Indiegogo. And it's purely because of the kind of book it is. I cannot fault a creator for knowing where their audience is.
Well, that's part of this business. If you're going to run a business of creating comics for people, like obviously it's a passion of mine. It's something I want to do, but at the same time, I want to be able to do this for a living and be able to produce more content for people at a faster pace and more consistently with a higher quality of standard. And so you have to treat it like a business in some cases, and you have to know who your audience is. And so
right, and something that I prefer. If we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. So I don't like how Kickstarter doesn't take the money right away because I feel like that pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah.
I get very confused how you can plus up your stuff, because that is, first off, that is not a straightforward process. No matter how Kickstarter tries to tell you it is, when you try to plus up a donation that you've already made, it tries to replace your previous donation. It takes finagling. You have to know how that thing works. It's a pain in my ass. And I'm like, if it's going to be this much work, I'm not going to bother. Like, just be happy with what you already got for me. And I love the fact that Indiegogo does in demand. I think that Indiegogo doing in demand is brilliant, and it's all around. I like how Indiegogo manages things better and they look better.
Yeah, and I also love secret perks. Secret perks are amazing because I put up retailer perks for everything that I do. And unfortunately, what'll happen is when you stick a retailer perk up on Kickstarter, everyone can see it, and most of some of the people that buy it are not retailers. Like they're not retailers.
Right.
But with a secret perk, I can make my retailer perk and then send them the link, and then that way I know the retailer is getting the retail perk. Mm-hmm. And nobody else. And so, Indiegogo is just so much better. And so, but my first, my first way out, I was like, I'm doing this because I talked with Anthony and I said, hey, I'm thinking about, I would like to see it at the Comicsgate table. He goes, you want there for the gold or do you want there? Are you going to take the hashtag? And I was like, dude, I want to take the hashtag. This is kind of a move that I feel like, the majority of my fans already aligned that way. People I work with that I love working with that are in that camp already. I just felt like it was something that I needed to do.
Well, and if it's where you honestly feel, if you feel like I don't like politics and garbage and bullshit. I don't like people preaching at me in my books. My books are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be an escape. It's supposed to be about the story that I want to tell. I don't like gatekeeping. I don't like SJW bullshit. Like, I don't like any of that stuff. And I think that customers deserve to have a seat at the table when it comes to what is happening within their own hobby. And so if a customer tells me that they think that something is complete and utter shit, and I find out enough of them feel that way, then that's something that should be listened to, not something that says, well, I don't work for you and you don't sign my paycheck, so it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you do work for your customers, because if they don't buy your book,
absolutely do, 100%.
Then there is no paycheck. The paycheck goes away.
I'm gonna do whatever the readers, my customers, fans, whatever. It's weird to say fans, because I'm still like, that's a weird statement, but whatever those people want, that's what I'm going to give them. That's just and so it just made sense to do that. And some of the things that were going on at the moment, so a couple of weeks ago, like a week or so prior to me making that announcement, hey, what's up, Michael Oden? Michael's a great creator. He's got a great book. And
he's been
so and so I was I found out that Peter Simeti made the statement. He's like, yeah, I'm CG, and I was like, man, Peter's a nice guy. If he can do it, I can do it. I knew we're starting this publishing company, and I didn't want to get a year or two in and then be like, because I knew it was inevitable. I was eventually going to come out CG. When you align, right? And and so I was like, well, I think now's probably the best time as any, to do that. That had happened. There was the whole mess. So, people talking about that stupid Wonder Woman cover. And hearing people on one side or the other talk, like one side particularly, about how brave and bold that was. And I'm like, but it's not very good art. It's like, I don't even care that they made her, not look like Super Wonder Woman. It's like just the standard, she got hired for that cover, not because she was a quality cover artist, and like when there was,
because she was a girl.
Yeah. But there's girls and people of color that are trained and been working to try to get in those positions. And I'm like, give it to them. They're competent artists.
Those are the ones that are problematic, because those are the ones that have opinions of their own that aren't going to toe a political line
exactly
in this kind of a field. And so those like I don't exist, because whenever they want to talk about the CG narrative, they're always like, oh, it's like one or two fat dumb bitches who don't even like comics, and I'm like, okay.
They haven't looked around, have they?
I was like, I've got on my Indiegogo, I think that I'm at 27 pages of backed projects at this point. A couple $1,000. So,
but it doesn't fit the narrative. Facts.
No, it doesn't. So I don't exist, and that's what they like to do.
Yeah, and I think that's go ahead.
Real quick. Thank you so much, Tony, for the $5. I appreciate you. Some shekels for the costume and ramen fun. Cheers. I appreciate you like you wouldn't believe. Absolutely. I'm going to have me some badass ramen and buy some good soap to get all of this this stuff off. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. And we actually had a couple of questions. So Fade wanted to know, could there be a Hydra-like creature in the book?
There could be. Not in the pages that you'll be getting in this book, but things are going to be getting a little more intense in the next. The comedy's going up, but also is the intensity.
Nice. Wolverine wants to say, is the Nephilim angle the source of all powered beings, i.e. the villains, or is it just the heroes? Are the heroes a limited number that exist?
All of them. That's it. With the exception of those who are supernatural creatures. But yes, that is the source of all of the power, and we explain it in the book, so I don't want to give any spoilers, but someone has devised a way to wake up the DNA, to make it happen. So yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with Green Laser. You're in good company. Dan Frigas, Shane Davis, Graham Nolan, EBS, John Mayland. Yeah, there's a lot of great people over
and a lot of crazy talent. Not just from the guys on the top, but the people in the middle down to the bottom, and a lot of emerging talent too. People I can't wait to work with.
Yeah. Ideas, you're adorable, and I appreciate that. Now I want to do a hand turkey Wonder Woman.
You totally should.
Oh my gosh, I did do a Superman. It was terrible though.
I'm telling you, about a month or so ago, I did a Wonder Woman live draw. So I will do live draws when I have time, and
nice.
And I did a Wonder Woman one, and I thought it turned out really well. And so my question was like, okay, let's take this cover, and then my thing, when can I get the next Wonder Woman cover?
Yeah. Chris, so you say that you can't find the projects that you back without scrolling through all the campaigns and look for the hearts. Kickstarter is a lot easier. Actually, for Indiegogo, it's real simple. You go into where your little circle is up at the top whenever you're logged in, and you go down to My Contributions. It will give you your list of everything that you've backed. I think that it puts about 7 or 8 per page. And you just keep hitting back. You can see everything that you've backed. You can see what level you backed, the details of the perk. You can see if you've refunded or not, or if you've been refunded. That's happened a couple of times where people have decided that I'm not allowed to have their book, which I think is funny. But yeah, so I still prefer this over Kickstarter. Kickstarter, I think, is a huge pain in the butt when it comes to customer ease of finding everything. Yeah. But maybe that could just be me.
I will say, to Kickstarter's testament, they are starting to add the add-on perk, or the add-on tier, add-on rewards, or however they've used different terminology, but I'm just going to say the add-on perks there. And I do know that the gatekeepers for the comics are no longer working there, so they've made some moves to that as well.
Good.
So
that is good.
So it is a better platform than what it was a couple years ago, But it's
and Froggy, thank you. It's 5 per page. My bad. And Chris, let's see if you do beat 27. You very well might. There's a lot. But yeah, and if we're gonna go back, Tony brings up a good point. If we're gonna go back to the Wonder Woman cover, I'm not saying the thing is if you look at that particular female artist's other work, even just compare that Wonder Woman cover with all the rest of her work. That Wonder Woman cover was not up to the same caliber as to what she normally does at all. I don't care that you made her fat. I don't care that you made her with weird colored skin or whatever. The mom jeans, I care a little bit about the mom jeans because ain't no woman wearing those jeans to show a fupa. No woman out there is going, this looks good. So those I have a problem with from a female standpoint. But the biggest problem I have is she's not a bad artist. That was a poor representation of what she can do.
It really was. It's like she phoned it in. It was like she didn't really care about that at all. The line weight was off. The dynamics of it. I mean, the pose was not even near the dynamics of some of the other stuff she did. Now, I'm not really a big fan of the other stuff because it's like the content's not for me. I'm not really into lesbian aliens. You might be. But that's fine. That art is subjective, and it is expressive, and that's how she expresses herself. But at least in those pieces, line weight is dynamic, posing is dynamic. There's a lot of quality elements to that work that did not translate into that cover.
There was a lot of care was put into all the rest of her work, and it really does feel like they made her a token and she knew it, and that's what she played to. They made her a token character, a token guest artist, and that's all that they gave her, and so that's what she gave them back was token art, and it was
she knows she wasn't a comic book cover artist, and maybe
she was already getting a paycheck. Like it was already a guaranteed paycheck. So at that point, what's the motivation besides your own art and your own name? And what she did, if you're going to go off of marketing and outrage, kind of hate bucks and stuff, technically, it got people talking. It got a lot more people knowing who she was that didn't know who she was before. Yeah. So if you're into outrage bucks, she kind of she played the game. I don't think it worked out in her favor. I think it would have been better if she would have done something that was more her style to the same quality that she normally does. Because she normally does, yes, they're bigger and full figured, but at least they're sexy.
Yeah.
They don't look like they're going to go pick up all of the kids and give them, celery and peanut butter. Like she's Wonder Woman. Yeah. Like, come on. She comes from an island where all they do was fight. Like they're warriors. They learned how to fight. That's
I'm a big fan of Wonder Woman, and I didn't like that I felt like she was misrepresented, but really, again, it come down to the arts. It felt like there was no passion in the cover.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't feel like she was excited about doing that work. Maybe she was, but it didn't translate onto the page, and so that was my problem with it. So.
Yeah, no, I completely feel you. Rookie Critic, thank you for the $2. That is very sweet of you, sir. I appreciate having you around.
That's another cup of noodles right there.
I know! You guys are making it so I can have all of the ramen and then just have to worry about blood pressure. Tony had... Nope, not Tony. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm misrepresenting. Itchy! There we go. What's the development like for your comic, and how long did it take you to do the characters and world building?
Thank you. That's such a good question. So basically, here's what happened. About 10 years ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we would often talk about the weird things in the Bible or other places that didn't quite make sense. And we would talk ancient aliens before that show really even got its footing, or things like that, and pyramids and all that stuff. And so we started talking about how that whole Nephilim thing kind of ties into a bunch of other stuff, and how all of these things, like, it all just kind of all works together. And so that's when he goes, dude, you love making comics. You should totally make a comic about this. And so I started developing that. And then in 2015, I pitched, had started a company called Tenacious Comics at the time, and we needed another book. And so I had already talked about this concept, and they said, the people I was working with said, you should totally write an issue. And so I wrote the first issue and drew it, had to cut it down from 22 pages to 20 pages and try to get it all going. Didn't think anyone would like it, but yeah. So I've done like 10 years of research on this thing, reading the Book of Enoch, all three versions of them, going into the different religious books and trying to read all the references I can there. And then listening to tons and tons of commentary from people who think they have a clue about stuff. And then some people that actually do have a clue about stuff. So yeah, it's been a lot of ingesting things over and over and over again, so that I can kind of come to this point. But I didn't just want a book about people with superpowers. I wanted it to be interesting. And so I created a really cool, what I think is a really cool kind of tension, like what the plot is, and kind of what the motivation of the bad guys are, and what the motivation of the good guys are, and kind of created a world and a story that revolves around this odd way of people having powers.
I like it. I really do. The Green Laser wants to know, how long are the written stories behind a single comic in word count? It's a very specific question, Green Laser.
That is a very specific, and one that I do not have the answer for, because I don't usually do the word count thing. I do things so I write in two different ways that all leads to a comic script. Well, the first thing I do is I create kind of beats. I figure out where I want to end the story, and then I create beats, and I know where I want to start and where I want to end, and then I create story beats that go from one spot to the next, and then work out my issue breaks. And then once I have that, because it's all kind of in prose, and then I develop the script from there. And I write it directly into comic script. So I don't know how many words it is.
That's
a lot.
Many.
Yeah.
I can say I don't know. I never do word count because that is kind of irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. But one thing that I do know is I recently wrote a 6-page comic short for something that I get to talk about tomorrow, and I'm so excited about. And in that, for 6 pages of comic, I ended up with 14 pages in a Word document just to try and make sure that the beats and the panels and the setup and all of everything that needed to be present was there, and then the dialogue.
Yeah, well, you know what they say.
A
picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, and it takes about 1,000 words to describe what a picture is supposed to be, and a comic book is full of pictures. So
yeah,
there
exactly. Yatsabel, hello, darling, says, this is a great book. I backed the floppies. I recommend you back this project. I agree.
Thank you, Jets.
I think that's so cool.
I love seeing Jets pop into the streams because
she's like an amazing powerhouse in CG. Like, I love her so much. She started streaming with us on the Powerpuff Girls of CG, and every time I'm like, oh, that's my girl.
Well, she's been talking this book up for me and stuff. So as soon as so she's backed, and you got to remind me what number you are, Jets, on there, so that, like, where you are. So, like, find me on Twitter and let me know, because I'm sending her some special, like.
Oh,
yeah,
that is awesome.
Anybody that can help me get to that, to that next level, let me know that, hey, I sent some people your way. I'll throw in special stuff like sketch cards and and different things and stuff like that, because I just appreciate. It's so much fun to create the book, but it's so much better when people come back and say, hey, I really enjoyed what you created. Like, that right there is it's a whole next level of good feelings.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. That's why whenever I get a book that I read and I thoroughly enjoy, I always try to reach out to the creator and let them know. When I have books that I read that are okay, I don't necessarily say something unless I'm asked. When I have books that I hate, I usually don't say anything.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't want to tear anyone down. And it's like, it may have just not been my thing.
I back a lot of books. I'm a super backer on Kickstarter, by the way. So I'm trying to build my Indiegogo up, my Indiegogo projects up, backing it. But there's times when I'm like, dear God, please don't let them ask me what I thought of the book.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those where I'm like,
because I refuse to lie, my day job, lying is frowned upon, so I don't do it,
Yeah, my day job is the military, so I really lying is very much frowned upon. In fact, it goes against the core tenet of what I raised my hand for. So,
well, some of the people in here already know this, but I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually a full-time pastor. Like, that's my day gig. That's what I do. And
Look at you.
Yeah. And so I'm actually trying to do comics, which I don't draw Christian comics, which a lot of people are like way confused by. Well, how do you draw normal comics? Because they're awesome. It's like, that's what I do. But part of like what I want to do is do comics for kind of a living and be able to not take a salary from the church, but to be able to donate money back into the church and help the church out that way and not be a burden. So that's awesome. Pastor Luke. Some people call me Reverend. Yeah, Pastor Luke. That's me. But yeah. So I don't lie. I
would expect the man of the church to not lie.
So I try to be completely honest with people, and I've gotten a couple of books recently from people that have really good credits, like they're on like bigger like some mid-level publishers, and I'm like, this was not good. I hope they don't ask me if I liked it, because I'll have to be like,
no. Yeah. And leave. So the Green Laser, I don't know if you saw it, he said he was thinking of adapting some of his short stories, is why he was asking for the word count.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what, Green Laser, find me on Twitter or go to my website, lukestonestudios.com, and look me up there. But message me and I will help you adapt your scripts, because that's part of what I like to do. I like to help people that want to do that. And so if you've got prose stuff and you want to know how to adapt that, I will help you with that process. No problem. Okay.
Master Voss says, my brother is Pastor Luke, so you are lying. There can only be one.
There are two.
there are several. I'm sure there's more than two. Definitely there's the opposite version of me.
It's the yin and yang of Luke's, isn't it?
Right? Oh my gosh. It would be hilarious if you were in all white, because he always wears all black, and then just have the TV stand by each other.
Oh, well, we can make that happen. I'm telling you.
Are you going to CG Fan Fests next year? Because that would be amazing. Christopher C says, so how do you reconcile the no lying? I'm pretty sure he just doesn't lie.
Yeah, I just don't. I try to be honest and constructive in my criticism, but also kind and loving at the same time, because I understand that, it's people's dreams. It's what, they've got a lot of passion behind it. So I usually try to find at least some good point in what's there. And then when I have to be honest, I try not to be brutally honest. I try not to be brutal about it. And that's I think one thing that people miss. I think everyone should try this, just don't be a jerk to each other. Be nice. Understand that, you don't need to tear down their whole person just because you didn't like what they did. There's always, you can always find some redeeming qualities, I think. So that's me. That's what I do.
It's very true. Wolverine says people at his church might frown on the reverse mohawk. He'd need for that, though, to be the opposite of death metal hero Luke, who has a gigantic 3-foot blue mohawk.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would be weird. I'd look like the guy from that thing with Firestarter. What was that? Prodigy. I'd look like the guy from Prodigy then.
Do not do a reverse hawk, please. That would be terrible. All right. Well, I feel like we've done a lot of really cool stuff here, talking about all of the aspects of your comic, which just sounds like a super fun comic, honestly. And I love everything that we've kind of hit on, and all of the little bonuses that you're doing, and the way that you've got your tiers set up, and how people can, build their own backing pack dependent on what it is that they want the most, which I think is awesome. This is definitely on my to back list. I just I need money.
I know, don't we all?
Yeah, for real.
I just saw Christopher CC. Somebody doesn't have a Twitter. So just go to my website, lukestonestudios.com, and contact me through there, and we can email back and forth. It's the easiest way to do it.
Yep. And then Chris also says refresh. So unfortunately, I reloaded while we were talking. So I don't get to do the refresh live, which sucks. But you're now 42%, sir. So you picked up at least a backer.
What's up? Yes, awesome. Thank you. That's 2 backers, because I think I was at 39 backers, or 38 or 39. And so now I'm at 41. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you very much, Chris, for letting me know that I needed to refresh. You guys are amazing. And okay. Thank you, Chris. So Chris is number 43. So thank you very, very much, sir. I appreciate you and your support. And I know he's actually just trying to catch me in my Indiegogo contributions. It's okay. You're like way trumping me in Kickstarter. I think I got like 3. But yeah, I really think that this is a cool project. I think that there's a lot of really nice looking art. There's a lot of really cool story that seems like it's going on. And I'm very much interested to see where this goes. Do you have any last little bits that you want to talk about before we wrap?
I think we talked about as much as I can think of, but so the cool thing is, so unfortunately I lost my editor when I went CG. He was going to stick with me, but he got some pressure. But that made way for a new editor to come in. Okay. And so I've actually just started working with Piper. And so we're now working on the next arc. And so if you back this now, if you get this now, in a very short time, we're going to start working on issue 6. and then we'll have that on Indiegogo right probably a month or two after you get this trade paperback with all the extra goodies that you get. And so you won't have to wait long for the next thing to go. So we're actually I'm going to start drawing the book and have most of the art done before the first issue even launches.
That's fantastic.
And that's for the entire arc. Like for the entire arc, I want to have it done. So yeah. So and if you want, go by terraformcomics.com and sign up for the mailing list, and you'll get more information about the release times on this.
Heck yeah, that is badass. Well, thank you so much, Luke, for coming and hanging out with us. I really appreciate having you on here. And thank you everyone in the chat for coming and hanging out. You guys always make it so much fun, so interesting. You got great questions and great interactions as always. Please like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. And do not forget to go and hit up Hybrids. If you're like me and you got to wait for payday, we got time, guys. There's still some time.
Yeah. 22 days on the first 30. And in order to, I really want to hit that 10K so we can have that. I really want to hit the AK so that we can do the extra pages. But now that we're going to do the live playthrough of the quick play,
we're hitting 10K. And so guys,
gotta do that.
We're going to do 10K and we're going to have patches, we're gonna have extra story, we're gonna have live RPG games. So come on, 10K. That is the minimum goal. Would be amazing for us to hit. So please make sure that you go check out this book. The link is in the description. Also, Frog G is my main man. He has been dropping it like it is hot, just repeatedly. Love Froggy. He's amazing. And we will catch all of you absolutely brilliant people next time. We'll see you later.
See ya.